Awesome. Thank you so much for joining us. If you're new to this Twitter space, this is an AMA with DeFi Teddy and their shiny toys. My name is Linda. I am an ecosystem slash developer relations manager at Mask Network, and I'm joined here with my co-host Web3 Social. So we often do these Twitter spaces on current trends in the space, and I'm happy to have you here. DeFi Teddy, if you can just give us a quick introduction about yourself and how you joined the space to kick off, that would be awesome.
Sure. Hello, everybody. My name is DeFi Teddy, and I'm glad to be here today. And thanks for the invitation from Web3 Social Club and Linda. And I'm the co-founder of the online on-chain tool chaineye. So today we are going to talk about our tools chaineye and the other tool Few.tools. Thanks.
Awesome. Can you explain what your chaineye.tools is and what we should look forward to seeing?
Chaineye is basically a multi-chain analytic tool, and so firstly, it is free, so everyone can use it. It's permissionless, and secondly, it's open source, so everyone can see its code, so it's quite safe. And thirdly, it's not built by our team. It's not only built by our team; it's also built by our community. So we received a lot of support from our community, and a lot of contributors to our this project comes from our community. Regarding its function, right now it has three functions. First one is the bridge comparison. Basically, if you give the source chain, the destination chain, the asset type, and the amount of asset you want to transfer. So our tool will give you the optimal bridge option depending on the metrics you use, like the TVL, like the minimum cost, or the other metrics you want to define. And the second function we have here is the gas monitor. So we monitor gas across different chains, like the Ethereum, like the BNB chain, Avalanche, and two other chains. So basically, you can, with our tool, you can find the least expensive time for you to perform your action during the day. And thirdly, we also have the dashboard for you can see for you can compare different transfer fees for CX, centralized exchange. For example, if you want to move your ETH from your exchange to Ethereum, and you want to find the least expensive one, so you don't need to check this information one exchange by exchange. You just need to look at our dashboard. It will give you all the information you need. Yeah, that's basically what we have now for our chaineye.
Amazing. This is definitely a useful tool in the space. How did you come up? How did you come up with this project, and how do you incentivize your community and people to build on top of chaineye.tools?
Sure. Basically, the reason. So maybe I can firstly give a history about myself and our community. So basically, I joined the crypto space in 2014 when I bought my first Bitcoin in Coinbase. And at that time, Coinbase is a very small exchange. And I also researched DeFi and NFT in 2018. But that at that time, this crypto investment is just my hobby. So I started full time working on crypto in 2020. So it's called like DeFi summer, right? During DeFi summer, there's there's a lot of exciting projects like Uniswap, AV, like Compound, and SushiSwap, so on and so forth. So when we want to do some yield farming, or we want to find uh, the least expensive transaction. So we realize that we do not have a good tool for us to use. So then we actually uh, I I start to build this product with the members from our community. So our community was built. Our Discord server was built in 2021, and we also started to build tools since then. So basically, it's about uh, so we build this tool for our own requirement, and then we also start to build tools for the requirement from our community. So basically, what community members need, what chaineye builds.
Awesome. So you started off as an investor, and then you saw a need in the market, and then you decided to build um, to build Chingy tools, and then you got other people from the community to join as well.
Yes. Because this tool is not only by myself. It's built and it's also owned by our community, and people they are the users of the community members are users of this product, but they are also the contributors of this product.
Oh, amazing. So how do you have some kind of DAO on how this tool is built, or
Yeah,
like you said, it's open source, so anyone can build on it?
yeah. So firstly, we build the product you can think it's like a team. So we have a team to build this product, and after we have the first version, and a lot of people start to use it, and more developers come to uh, contribute to our code, and so basically it's like half, like half is built by the team, the other half is built by the community members, because they use this product and they have some requirements, so they jump in to contribute their code.
Oh, amazing. How do
Mm.
you, I guess, how do you assign what needs to be built, or are these just ideas from other community members? Is this like a bounty system? How do you incentivize them to build on this on chain e-tools?
Yeah, so for the work from the team, like they are compensated, and for the work from the community, right? Some of them, like we have the bounty program, like a piece of work, and we have the bounty program, and people can apply and they do the work. And for like small piece of work, like people can implement the job, so uh, voluntarily, so they don't ask pay to do it.
Awesome. Yeah, I'm familiar with bounty systems through to at Mask. We do a lot of bounty programs, especially with Gitcoin, and it's really amazing to see how much people want to contribute and build on top of our platform, and just I guess just bring their knowledge in general to this space. So, can you tell us a bit more about which features on chaineye.tools stand out from
Yes.
other
Um,
tools in the market?
yeah, basically, like if you look at the tools market today, they are like similar products already. But what make us stand out is that our product gives very comprehensive and very detailed information, and you cannot find anywhere else. I will take an example, say for our Brew tool, right? So if you look other tools, they may also have similar functions that you can compare the different bridge options. But our tool gives much more information than other tools. For example, other tools may only provide the source chain and the destination chain, and they will give you the route. But our tool, on top of this information, will also give them for users they can input the amount of the asset. So people can use this tool to exactly to know the cost of their bridge route because this cost is associated with the amount of the asset. So this function is only right now is only provided by our tool. So another example I can talk about is like for when we calculate the cost, right? So we consider all the costs involved during the uh, like the asset transfer. For example, we consider the swap fees, and we also consider the product fees. And in addition to these two, we also consider the gas fee on the source chain and the gas fee on destination chain. So our cost is very accurate. And if you look at other um, bridges, they don't have such similar functions.
Right. Thank you for that. Um, I just want to mention to the audience that we're doing a questionnaire. So whoever completes the task at hand, you could see it right on the space. You're eligible for a free 1 month subscription of Few.tools. Okay, my next question. So, how are you helping your project grow? And have you found a sustainable way to survive in this bear market?
Sure. So how to how to grow our project? I think the first principle we use is to build a better product. So so we will listen to what people need from our community members and constantly build products that meet retail investor needs. So what people want, what chaineye builds. And secondly, we always ensure the data quality. So we want to make sure the data is reliable. There's no error in it, and the data is up to date. And also the data is complete. For example, we want to include as many bridges as many um chains as possible. And thirdly, we want to build a product with better UI and better user experiences. So we will receive the feedback from our community members. And and the fourth one is always recruit the best people to build the product. We have the people from the top universities and from the top tier companies. And lastly, and also very important is we we need support from our communities. Only only by support from our community can our product grow. So these are basic the approaches we take to grow our product and project.
Right. I guess this kind of follows the Web3 ethos where you're kind of giving um, power back to the people to contribute and also, I guess, add their knowledge to what's currently being built. And I think that's what, to me, I think that's what makes a project in this space successful, and that's also what helps projects grow is really getting your community involved. Um, and community, especially whichever community you have, I think are the most, especially the devs, are the most passionate about, what they're building and the tech. So that's awesome that you guys are doing that.
Mm-hmm.
So from the bear, I think I missed. I'm not sure if you touched on that.
Uh,
How you guys are surviving in this bear market?
yeah. So I think fortunately we receive a lot of support from our community member, and also importantly, from we receive support from the Gitcoin. So we will so we would like to take these opportunities to say thanks to every like one who donates to our uh, project during Gitcoin round 15, and also thanks to the I think to the grant like partners. So we receive support from the Gitcoin, and also we think like during market there are a lot of products and projects will fail. So many of them do not have like product market fit, and many of them may have do not have like good user experiences. But I think if we build a product that meet users' needs and also with great user experiences, and we also have a very strong development team. So we think such product and such teams will survive through the bear market.
Right. Yes, I'm currently at this at DEF CON in Bogota right now, and I've asked a lot of people, how are you surviving in this bear market, and they kind of have um, the same thoughts that you do. Um, a lot of projects won't survive, but with a strong community, this is really the time to build and grow.
Yes, yes. The bear
Yeah,
market is not is I think it's good time to to build, and the bull market is good time to harvest.
right, right. So I kind of took a look at your product, and I saw that you guys have, correct me if I'm wrong, two hundred
Mm,
thousand users.
mm.
Um, do you know the demographic of most of your users? Is it mainly in China and the US, or is it kind of spread out equally um, all over the world?
So as of today, I think like I think most of the users are from I think from the Chinese speaking like regions, not necessarily China mainland, and maybe like Singapore or any other place who speak Chinese. This is because like our community right now is mostly like a Chinese speaking community. So now we are now the next step we take is what we want to like build a global community. So we also want to attract like people from different parts of the world to use uh, our 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 product. So because we think this product is for everyone, so every Web3 users they can uh, they can use our product, not only in China.
Right.
Mm.
So how are you? How are you? I guess trying to have people from non-Chinese speaking countries use your product. Do you have a plan in mind, or is there something you've currently started to bring those people to your community?
Yes, we plan to bring these people to our community because in the past most times we only do marketing in Chinese media. So from now on, we'll start to do marketing and in English medias, and also want to partner with meaning like English like speaking projects. So they by doing this kind of partnership, I think we will grow our audience to other regions.
Right. I think that's a great idea. I think when you're trying to target a different demographic, definitely doing some kind of partnership with other projects from that demographic that you're trying to target is really helpful.
Mm-hmm.
And also,
Linda, I think I cannot hear you.
oh, sorry. Um, what was the last thing I said? I think I was just going off and saying that definitely doing partnerships with other projects from different demographics that you're trying to target is definitely key
Mm-hmm.
in trying to grow your product, so that people from that demographic can use your product. And also maybe joining those communities and somehow incentivizing them to use your tools, like maybe 1 week free subscription so they can see the value in your product is also um, would also be amazing, because I
Mm-hmm.
think it's a really cool product, and like you said, it's for everyone,
Mm-hmm.
and people from different demographics probably just having discovered it because most marketing is on the Chinese side.
Mm-hmm.
So speaking of demographics, do you find it difficult for a Chinese project to break the language barrier or break through and be accepted among the border crypto community?
I think the answer to this is both yes and no. Um, um, so based on my experiences, I lived in US for almost more than like almost 10 years, but I still feel some gap with like mainstream American society. I think it's because of firstly it's because of language, secondly it's about the culture, right? So I think same thing applies to the cryptos space. So if you look at today's like blue chip DeFi projects or like NFT projects, right? I think most of them are not um, are built by the Chinese teams. Um, but on the other hand, um, we must realize like today, like crypto is very early stage. Like so Chinese projects have their disadvantage of like the cultural and the language, but they also have strong. Uh, they also have the strengths because um, uh, Chinese teams are usually very good at like at engineering, right? So I at this stage, so I think it's we cannot jump to the conclusion that the Chinese projects cannot break the language barrier. So if we look at the internet history, uh, Chinese project were at disadvantage at an early stage. Like a lot of early projects are from US. If you look at Yahoo, if you like Google, if you like Amazon, right? But when it came to the mobile internet, a Chinese project caught up. Like like WeChat has I think largest number of users, and a better example of the TikTok. Like TikTok is like even like I think it's the number one like app in the category, even in the US App Store. So I think these projects, I think they achieved like a global success, and the and definitely breaks the language barrier. I think uh, they because my I think like they how they broke the language barrier is because I think they hire the local people, and they have very international team to do the international expansion. So getting back to a question, I think right now it is the fact that the Chinese projects are not the mainstream like the are not the mainstream like crypto community, but in the future we will see like if like the Chinese project then breaks this like language or cultural barrier.
Right, exactly. So when it comes to, I know you touched on projects like WeChat and TikTok, which has been able to reach a global success. For TikTok, I know it's pretty huge and mainstream, geographically all around the world.
Mm.
But for WeChat, I have WeChat personally because I work with a Chinese team. Do you think that there's a reason why WeChat, I could be wrong on this, but this is just my opinion, is not as big as, let's say, TikTok?
Yeah, I think we WeChat is a great product. So but I think it's for like various reasons. Like the largest like the number of users I think come from like China. Like so maybe it's related to the regulation or other reasons. But from the product itself, it's a very cool product, and it's better than the uh, like the at that time is Google Hangout or something. So when WeChat like hit its success, and then the Google started to look into uh, its success and start to like to research its why WeChat succeeded. Because at that time I was at Google, so I know like in terms of product development, like WeChat is definitely a big success. The big success.
Yes, definitely. WeChat is a really big success, and I hope, I wish there were more, because I use it and I think it's awesome. I wish there were more um, non I guess Asian speaking countries, well, users that actually use WeChat instead of WhatsApp. So for everyone in the audience, again, I just want to let you know that there's a task at hand, in the posted in the Twitter space, and if you complete the task, you're eligible for a free 1 month subscription of Few.tools. So you've mentioned that your project is open source. Do you plan on staying? Um, do you plan on keeping it open source? And if so, why did you decide on making it open source in the first place?
Yes, so we will keep it as open source. So the reason why we have it open source from the first place is because like uh, it is a I think like we are a Web3 project, and a Web3 project uh, needs to be open source. If we look at the DeFi project, like the successful DeFi project, like the Uniswap, the AV, the company, they are all open source. So we just follow them, and I think this is a right thing to do.
I agree. And also keeping things open source. Keeping things open source also helps um, your community see that you're still building. So you mentioned in your Twitter that you're giving back the profit from the 2B service. What is the plan for that?
Yes, so our revenue model is like this. Like we have the in our website we have some referral link. So for take example, like if you check the some bridges, like a few bridge like across, they have a referral link. So if users use our chaineye to find the optimal path that is across, and he clicks on it and then do a transaction. So we'll get some the reward from the cross. So this is our like business model right now, and we're also talking with other partners like the seller networks. So in the future, we will have more and more like projects. They will split some like revenue with us. So after we receive the revenue, so we will give the most of them to our users and uh, keep a small cut in our treasury for our future product development. So this is actually the it's a Web3 business model. So we, if you think about it, so all the revenues will either go to the community members or go to the builders. Unlike in Web2, like a lot of like the profits will be taken by the institution uh, investors.
Right. This definitely follows the ethos of
Mm,
Web3, giving the power back to the users.
mm-hmm,
So you've joined the Gitcoin GR15 round and you've received multiple funding. I want to say congratulations on that. Do you
thanks.
have any exciting updates for our audience that you would like to share?
Uh, yes, so we will have like two new functions will be alive very soon. The first function is ETH staking calculator. So you guys know the after the ETH mode, like the ETH staking becomes um, popular for many investors. So as of today, there are like many different staking like service providers. Some are from the decentralized, some are from the centralized exchange, and there are some cost for this staking and some reward like APY, and also some risks associated with each provider, and also liquidity when you after you stake your ETH. So we will build a very cool tool for you to compare and find the best options that fits your need. And the second function we are going to build is basically is a beta chain list. Right now, chain list is working. You can find a lot of RPC like nodes, right? But the user experience is not perfect. So we are going to build a beta user experiences. For example, like we can have like a 24-hour reliability testing for each RPC node, and we can have like more RPC choices for our users. So users can use this information to pick up the best RPC they want to use.
Awesome, awesome. Thanks for that information. Again, to everyone that's on the call, we have um, a questionnaire up top, and if you're able to complete that, you can get a 1 month free subscription at Few.tools as a reward. So, as you know, we've seen a lot of hacks in the Web3 space. And what's funny about these apps? Well, I guess it's not funny, but what's interesting about these hacks is that no one, there's no exception. You know, we've seen really big, reputable companies such as Axie get hacked. So I think it's fair to say that safety has been a top priority in crypto and in Web3. Um, since you provide lookup services for certain bridges, do you have any suggestions or experience for the audience to stay safe and avoid potential hacks when the the bridge on chain?
Yes, I have some tips from my side. So for like yeah, I think if you want to bridge your assets, right, the first thing you want to check is bridge. Uh, uh, what's the safety about the bridge? So we really look at this information from different dimensions, like the if it is audited and how many audits audit report it has, and by what audit companies, what is the TVL um, associated with this bridge. So small TVL means a means probably a better safety, and what the investor behind each bridge, and what hack histories. If it has no hack history, probably it means a better safety than the bridge uh, with hack histories. And secondly, if you want to like bridge your asset, I think you want to check the safety from the in destination chain. Like, what's the safety in this destination chain? If it's a small chain, probably it means high risk. If it's a big chain, probably it has a better chance of safety. For example, if we bridge from the let's say Ethereum to say for example Polygon, it's much safer than from the Ethereum to a small chain. And thirdly, so when you finish uh, your transaction on the destination chain, it's better for you to move back your asset back to the source chain, and or you can swap into native chains, because the native chains like they will not be they cannot be hacked. Only the chain, only the non-native chain. So in most cases, like the hack tokens on the non-native non-native tokens on the destination chain. And last not least, you should pay attention to approval. So you should avoid you using the unlimited approval. So if you transfer one ETH, you should only approve one ETH. And once you are done with this like transfer, you should revoke bridge. Uh, you should revoke bridge approval permission. So that's the 4 tips I can give for the uh, bridging when for safety tips on the bridges.
Awesome. So, in your tools, is there any like warning on like which bridges are safe and which bridges that you should take a caution on, or is this something you plan to build in the future? For instance, maybe like a ticker, like green or red or yellow, that shows like which bridges are high risk, low risk, or medium risk. Is this something that you've thought about?
Yeah, we are thinking about this. So basically, this is actually our, so this kind of like the evaluation from our side. So right now, like we do not give like a direct recommendation. This is bad or this is good. So we give this option back to the users. But what we do is actually display as much information as possible. So, in example, we can check the TVL of one bridge, or if the source code of this bridge is open source, or we can check. So we are also use some APIs from our partners. Like we have partners go they can use Go Plus. So they provide APIs about information about the tokens. Say if a token has like a lot of holders, it's it's better than the tokens with only a few holders. So people now can use our tools to check the information about the token on the source chain and the information on the token on the destination chain. So right now the users can see the information, but we do not give our evaluation to our users. So users use this information to have their own evaluation.
Right. So the users, based on the information you provide in your tools, the users are are the ones who have to make their decision on if they want to use a certain bridge or not.
Mm-hmm.
So what's coming next in your roadmap, that's going to be major, and do you have any plans to add extra features for the Web3 social space?
Um, yes. So we talked about website security just now. I think we think like the safety is critical uh, in Web3 space. So next function we plan to build is about Web3 security related functions, and this will be a big thing in our roadmap. So one example we plan to build is we can give users a tool for them to check the safety of the website they visit. So we can check if this website is like is a faked one. So if it's in whitelist or it's in the blacklist, and in more depth we can we can check the code like um, the the code on the web page to see if it follows the pattern of the scam. So basically, so given a website, we want to give some information about the security level of this website to our users, and also like the bridge like hack is very like uh, serious issue these days. You will see like these hacks from time to time, and when this hacks happens, it's better to take actions sooner. And we would like to build a function to detect the hacks from when it happens and push this notification to our users in real time. So we are actually the behind the scene. We will check the transactions on the destination chain and compare it with the source chain. So if we detect like some uh, transactions that is abnormal, for example, there's no deposit on the source chain, but there is a lot of withdrawal from destination chain. So we can issue warnings to our users in the real time. So Web3 security is a big thing. And another thing we would like to build is you talk about Web3 social. So before we do social, we actually want to implement our uh, we want to build our community first. And to build our community, we will need to implement the account system. So we will support, like right now, there's no wallet login. So we would support wallet login very soon. So people can log in using wallet, and we will have some points for them to reward our frequent users. So basically, we will build a community based on our tool and our point system. And after that, the next step is probably is about how we build social in our community.
Great. Thank you. Thanks for that. My question is, so what does the UI look like when you're providing information about certain types of websites? You mentioned
Right
that.
now, we're thinking like if you think you suspect a website is scam, so you just copy the URL and then you can paste the URL in our tool and click uh, check, and we will do some checks, and then we will return the results to you.
Great. Thanks for that. So, and how do you plan on building your community for Web3 social?
So we will have a point system. So if you like for example, if you log in every day, so probably will give you uh, some points. So for every login, and if you use a referral link to do the transaction, you will probably get more points. So we will um, build our like kind of point system based on users' interaction with our tools. Regarding the social part, we right now we don't have the detailed plan yet. As I said, the first step is to build the community first.
Right.
Yeah, the community is centered on the tool and the point system.
Right. Agree. Um, for anything social, community is definitely the most important. So for those of you who are here today, 5 of you stand a chance to win a free 1 month Few.tools subscription totaling at 0.75 ETH. It serves as an alpha tool for you to spot on-chain opportunities. DeFi Teddy, could you share with the audience what the tool is and how people can leverage on it? And is there any correlation between the two tools that we've mentioned so far?
Yeah, sure. So Few.tools is basically an alpha tool for you to discover the early signals for DeFi or for FT or Web3 um, projects. So basically, it aggregates the data from both the on-chain, like the Ethereum, or from other chains, or the off-chain places like the Twitter, like the Discord, or even the GitHub, or from other websites. So when we have this accurate information, we will create some alpha signals, and we will present these alpha signals to our users using either the dashboard on the front end or notify the users um, real time using the using the bot in our Telegram group. And this one, like we have tested this one, and it has a very good performance track record. So if you guys play the MT Pro project, so you know there are like a lot of like early alpha project I think a good example a few months ago is like Goblin, or recently like the uh, how to pronounce it, maybe like DG. So this NFT project like become before they before they became popular in the Twitter or in the mainstream place, they were caught by our Few.tool a few days in advance, which means like you can notice these projects when their price is still low. So basically, our signals are the leading alpha signals. So this is so basically you can leverage the our Few.tools to find the early alpha signals, and the correlation between these two tools is like Few.tools is the alpha tool. So when for alpha tool, like it must be a close community, because if like say 100 people knows this alpha, then it's alpha. If everyone knows this, then it's no longer an alpha. So it cannot be um, shared by everybody. So it must be a close community tool, and this one is not open source. But for the chaineye, um, for chaineye, this one is open source. So everyone can use it, and the more people use it, it's better for our Ethereum or for our blockchain ecosystem. This is a difference between like Alpha tool and the public good tools. But the common place is that these tools are both for the retail investors, and they address the needs for the retail investors.
Awesome. Thanks for that explanation. Are people able to perform transactions on Few.tools, or is it mainly an analysis tool?
Right now it's only for analysis. So you will not do any like trading or transaction. So it's just it has a wallet login, but it's only for permission check. So it will not do any like smart contract transaction. It's read only. It's only for analysis.
Gotcha. So I see that you have a teddy bear as your Twitter profile pic, and you're also called DeFi Teddy. Does that indicate you're a DeFi veteran? And what's a fun fact about the teddy bear persona?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think I'm a true believer of DeFi. So I have the uh, background of the fintech. So I have been in fintech space for many years. So I know the problems with centralized finance, and I know like DeFi, although it has limitations, but it will solve the problems with traditional finance. If you can even think about blockchain started with DeFi, because Bitcoin is the first is the first DeFi application, and I start to research DeFi like very many years ago, and I really like its open source, permissionless, and it can be used by everyone. So uh, that is my explanation for the DeFi part, and for the Teddy Bear part, yeah, and I think like Teddy is a very interesting character in the US movie called Ted. So if you guys watch the movie, you know it's very um, um, amusing, like the fun character. So I I like the character. So I use this as my persona.
Nice. Thank you so much for that explanation. Those are all the questions that I have for you, DeFi Teddy. Is there anything you would like to add before we switch over to the audience for questions?
No, so we can see if we can have questions from our audience.
All right. Thank you, everyone, for joining. If you have any question, just please request to be a speaker, and we'll bring you up. All right. It doesn't look like anyone else has a question. Um, I have a question, DeFi Teddy.
Mm-hmm.
What is your what is I think we've kind of talked about, what your plan is for the future of the project. What is your goal as for like subscription wise? How many users would you like to have subscribed on your product by, let's say, 2023?
You mean the beginning of 2023 or the end of 2023?
The end.
The end, right? So
Mhm.
I think we have like two types of tools. I think for the open source one, for the public good, like chaineye, so we want to as many people as possible. So right now for the chaineye, we have like for the weekly active user, we have a few thousand users like as our weekly active user. We hope these numbers grow by at least tenfold. And for the Alpha tour, so as I say, this is a small community. So if we can have like 1,000 paid subscribers, or even like 500, I think that is already a good number for us.
Awesome. This is definitely a great tool, and I will definitely be subscribing and recommending it to my friends. So you have
Mm.
one new subscriber um, to add on to that goal.
Thanks, Linda.
Does anyone else have a question? Web3 social.
Yeah, I actually have a question for the Few.tools. I'm opening the webpage of your tools, and I wonder if for free accounts, what can we do for now if I can't afford to pay for now? So what can those free accounts do right now with this tool?
Oh, the free for the free accounts, like you can still see the information, but you probably cannot see the top maybe 5 or top 10 projects.
Right. Thank you. So maybe as a starter, I need to try to see what it brings for me, as I am also an NFT player. So definitely an interesting tool to look at. Thank you, DeFi Teddy.
Thanks, DeFi Teddy.
Thanks,
All
you
right.
guys.
We're going to be wrapping up this space. If anyone else has a question, please request the speaker option, and we'll bring you up. Otherwise, DeFi Teddy, it was such a pleasure to speak with you and
Me too.
learn about your tools. And I wish you all the success. And I'm sure this won't be the last conversation we have.
Thanks, Linda.
All right.
Right.
It doesn't look like we have anyone else who wants to ask a question. So I thank you again. And Web3 Social Club, thank you so much for setting up this Twitter space. I wish you guys a good night or good morning wherever you are. Thank you.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank
Bye.
you. Have a good
Bye-bye.
night.
Bye-bye.
Bye.